Today we're going to be discussing the impact of divorce on men. Now, during this research, I found it really highly interesting, and it was a real eye-opener. Now, although during all my divorce phase I've been with my eldest son, who's very much just making me understand that I was not to get into this woe is me mood, poor little female who's been, you know, victim. I wasn't going to play the victim role, so I've had this in my face constantly, even though I was playing the victim role. So I've had this male view constantly. It's been very enlightening for me, and it's really helped me to understand the partner's point of view. But from and all the male forums I've been on, it is true. We do think completely differently, and it's very interesting to know and have all this information. Doesn't make it any easier, but sometimes it does. So the men are baffled. That's the first thing I've noticed. They're completely baffled, and they don't, when you're leading up to the divorce, you might be saying, look, we've got to talk this out, or I'm just going to leave. Or, women sort of prepare for this because they see that it's just not going to happen for them. It's not, the man is just not moving. Now, perhaps if we knew before why the man isn't moving, what's perhaps then that particular time, we could change things, but I don't know. À voir. And so they seem to think that it's we'll never leave. To them it's we're a family unit, and that's it. Family unit. That's like a Lego piece set, and he's building around it, or on top of it, or around it. So to him, it's his center of the universe. And males are providers. Okay, that's what they do. They provide and protect. So he's providing, money, and wife is just spending it or not, whatever. She's bringing up the family with the education, with the love and tender loving care, with the nursing side of it. She's doing that. And to him, it's a very fine, balanced equation. So when the woman leaves, it's like a whole brick in his wall has just been taken out, and his wall comes crumbling down. Everything he's been doing, everything he's been thinking of, or his whole plans are just crumbling down. So the impact of divorce at this particular point on the man will be, he'll just come crashing down, literally. So this is how then he, can climb back up or build himself up, is totally as how he's been educated. Now, some men can talk about emotions, other men can't. Some men will go and read stuff on the internet, other men won't. So then they can either go into, alcohol, drugs, and other women. This is just to fill a void. They're just trying to build their life up again. And during the divorce times, the wife will think, well, why aren't you, asking to get back together? Why aren't you missing me? Why am I not the center of your universe? And they don't understand. The women just don't understand that the family was a unit. So the fatherhood of that family unit is probably more missed than just the husband side of it. Because he can still be a husband. That's something that, but he can't be he is a father to those children, and he will always be a father to those children. So the fact that he's failed in that will be more important in his eyes than the spouse. And the spouse may have trouble digesting, So she will lash out, she will use the kids against him. Sometimes the kids will love their dad, but their dad did something terrible, or the dad just walked out. And that's, something that the child itself has to deal with. So sometimes there will be total, I don't want to see dad. I'm not even, dad does not exist. Or they'll be bitching about dad to mum and stuff. And even though mother can agree and all this, I think that to be in the forgiveness mode is best for everyone. It really is at least best for the child, because when you're in the angry, I don't want to know you mode, as the Buddhists say, you're picking up a bit of charcoal to throw to someone, but and in the now, you've got the charcoal in your hand and you're getting burnt, so you've got to be really careful about that. And also, when you can start being in the forgiveness phase, that's when your child and yourself can start to look forward. When you're in the bitching phase, you're always looking back, you're always living in the past, and you've got to free yourself of those chains. You really must free yourself. So these are, impactful things. So men must also learn to do this. and they have different ways of doing it. They also take to drinking, for example, when they come back and there's no one at home. It's a tiny little bedsit or whatever. Even if they kept the family house. In my case, for example, he kept the house, but he just came home to an empty house. It was just huge and empty. So that was really terrible for him. And I just kept saying, oh, freaking out. He's got the dishwasher, he's got this, he's got that. It was totally different. So the impact of divorce on men is really quite different. They will feel their whole world has crumbled. They will feel they need the family unit first, so children before the wife. And they will probably take to drinking and stuff. Men do tend to get married, from statistics, get married before women. Within 2 years they can be remarried. So that's just filling in a void. Obviously, we're hoping they're falling in love and what have you, but it depends how long you were married, etc., 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 and what happened during the divorce. Finances also plays a big role because, before, all the money was used for his family unit. Now this family unit is gone, so the impact of the divorce will be, for the new family unit, something he's got to get used to. The new family unit is mum and children. But, he might not want to give to the mother, he might just want to give to the children, so this is very difficult for him. So you can find ways around that. You can say, well, you can just buy the food if that's the way you feel about it. You can pay for the schools, you can buy them clothes, although you have to be careful what Dad's going to buy, because he'll buy anything that the children want, and that may not be suitable for you. Not in the way that you don't want to see, that sweatshirt that Dad's bought on your son, but I had my 12-year-old with, shorts up to her, bottom line, which is not something I'm in agreement with. So, you can have shorts, but to a certain level, that's what I mean. So you have to also take that on board. Otherwise, I'm very happy that he buys some clothes and stuff, but he just says, no, I'd rather give you the money for the clothes than you deal with the clothes. But, that's him, the man. That's the impact of the divorce on the man, is just going to be, a little bit more, it's just going to be very different, and each person is different and will cope with it as best they can. But I've read a lot of forums, and it's true that I find it just mind-boggling about all this, the impact the divorce has on them, because it's just totally different, and it's very, very fascinating, and it really has helped me to better understand my partner, my ex-partner, and to try and be as generous and as lenient as I can be. So that's, I hope this has been some help. If you want some tools, there's some tools on the right or the left of on the sidebar. If you need some financial help, I can also help you with that. And any sort of comments, I have your back also. I want this to be a non-gendered issue, because that's the way my kids are doing it for me. So I thank them to bits. Hope this has been some help. Pass it along to your friends if you feel this can help them. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.